Hey y'all. So I haven't been on in a minute, but there's been so much going on in my life that I feel it's finally time I update you. So, let me backtrack like 3 or 4 months ago now. I've been going through a big, huge growing season. And so, with that being said, God has been showing me just how to trust in Him in literally every area and like every aspect of my life. Now, it's been a challenge, hence why the social media got pushed aside, because I needed to really just hone in and focus and make sure I just leaned on God. Because in those moments when you're broken and really not feeling, knowing what to do, it's good to have the silence to be able to press in and kind of go to your mountain. You know how God would go to his mountain and pray, and have those days away are very important. So, backtrack. Me and one of my best friends growing up decided to move in together, and we were like, okay, let's see how this is gonna work out. I at the time had like a nanny job, and I was barely making like $2,000 a month. And the place that we knew that we were going to be looking for, we're just like, okay, great. Like, Lord wants us to move in together. We fully, wholeheartedly believed. We saw all the confirmations, and we were like, okay, this is happening. So let's see where we can go. So we started looking around, and I'm telling you, I looked at, honestly, like over 20 homes. Over 20 homes, just trying to find the right home. And the thing that God told me, when He told me that we were going to get a home together, is that you will feel the peace. You'll know it because you'll know the peace. And so I was walking into the homes and paying attention to the people, to how I felt, to just everything about it, right? And so finally, I pulled up to the home, and there was the owner who I could tell right away was a family man, because he came out of his way from having his grandkids coming to visit him, leaving the beach to meet us to see the house. And so when I pulled up, I saw these adorable little baby hand wave at me out the window. Okay, he wasn't a baby, he was like 10, but still a little kid. Wave at me out the window and smile all big as I was going in. And I just, like, the way the house was set up, just immediately pulling up, I just knew. And I was like, okay, let's just keep going to the house. Meet the owner, loved it. Everything was perfect. And God had told me a city, and I told my friend the city, and she was like, because it's a city. We're not living in Compton, we're not living in the ghetto, but we're not living the place that we were used to living in. And so, anyways, so we get it, right? We get this house, and we get literally all these crazy amounts of confirmation that this is the house. My best friend was feeling some type of way and was like, I'm just going to meet him. I'm going to go fill the house out. We go, and we meet the owner, and she's like, okay, Lord, if this is you, like, I want to see sunflowers. She pulls up around the corner. Someone has a fake sunflower outside their front door, or front yard, just posted. The owner goes to give us the keys to the house, and it's on a lanyard full of sunflowers. And like the whole way home, all she saw was sunflowers after that. And so now where we're at, tons of sunflowers literally everywhere. Just a constant reminder that God has us. And so finding the house was one huge challenge. However, keeping the house was another. I had a nanny job, but I did not make enough for my rent. Was going to be about as much as I was making. And I have 2 kids, so that doesn't fly, on top of gas and food. So I was like, okay, Lord, this transition is happening. What am I going to do? And I knew God wanted it, okay? And that's the thing, I knew God wanted it. So I could tell that God was in the house that we got. So I knew how much I had to make. And so 3 weeks before we had to like move, my current job, the nanny job that I was at, needed to not have a nanny anymore, and they were totally moving hours away. And I was like, crazy. That same week that I got that notification, someone I had worked with at my old job messaged me saying there was a GM job that needed to be applied for. And at the time, like as I got the text, it was right before I got notification about my other job, and so I was like, oh, thank you, like I'll let you know if I have anyone in mind. Then I got that notification about this job, the nanny job that I was at, so I was like, oh my gosh, Lord, you're calling me back to be a GM, you're calling me back to do work. And so I was like, okay, Lord, if this is of you, I need you to show me that it's of you, because I had no idea. I just knew what it would take to be a GM, and I was like, Lord, am I mentally there? I knew I could fully handle it, but did I want to? You know, that was the real question. And so the moment comes, and I am having to find another job, and I'm like, okay, Lord, if this is you, show me. So my friend messages me again, hey, that restaurant's still looking for a GM if you want to go apply. And I was just like, okay, Lord, I guess this is it. This is of you. I'm gonna get the job, right? Like, this is of you. I'm leaving my other job. I haven't had any other offers. Side note, when it comes to jobs, and the way I was raised and always followed with God, he's always dropped a job in my lap. Like, when it's of him, it just drops in my lap at perfect timing always. And so this is what was happening. And I was like, okay, Lord, this is of you. I'm doing it. So I applied, and I got the job. I was not a GM before, but I already knew what it would take to be one. And I had already done a lot of GM work for GMs before. So, now I've been in this job for a while and loving it. Have literally the best boss in the world. And I am like so blessed. I'm able to provide for my home that God called me and my best friend to be in. I have this amazing job. I'm still able to homeschool my kids, and me and my best friend just started hosting a Bible study at our house. And so, with all this being said, like, I am like so just excited, because God has been taking me through moment by moment. Now, I say all these things and it sounds perfect, right? But honestly, it was hard. It was very hard, very nerve-wracking to be a mom of two, and like, God, do you want me to what? Just leave one job and get a house that I don't know if I can afford, nor if I'm gonna have a job to afford. You're gonna make it right. Like, you're gonna make it work. And it was definitely, I had to press in, and I had to really spend my time with God and understand that he has me. And honestly, no matter what, he's going to show up and show out. And I am like so thankful that is what he's teaching me, because honestly, y'all, it makes it so much easier. Like, we make it so complicated trying to fix it ourselves. And he's just like, bro, I got you. Why you playing games? And I like, you know, your head, all emotions, all the control comes in, and you gotta, once you literally let it go, and you're like, Lord, you're not gonna let me fail. You already told me you're not gonna let me fail. You're already gonna bless my family. You already told me you're gonna bless my family. I am blessed. I am loved. I am taken care of. No man can take away anything that you've blessed me with. Only God can take it away. So I like stand on that. I love it, and I am so thankful to Jesus. And I just wanted to share all my blessings with you, because I get excited thinking about all of them, because God's just so good. He just loves me and my family and you. And I just want to share with you and encourage you. God loves you. God has you. He is here for you. And don't ever forget it. If you ever need prayer,